Welcome to Churva Palooza. It's going to be a lot of talk, a lot of laughs, and a whole lot of churva.
How about sending things back home? Do you see that in your wife? Have you learned about our balikbayan box?
I mean, I'm very aware of the practice. I learned early on, and when she first told me about it, I was like, "What? You fill up a box and send it home? Like, what is this like tribute? Thanks for birthing me, Mom. Here you go." Like, it just seems so bizarre to me, right?
Mhm.
But like, I get it. And part of it is probably why I really gravitated toward her and Filipino culture is just that connection to family and that importance of family and taking care of each other, right? Like, I really like that. I feel like it's something we've shied away from in North America, over the last 30, 40 years. And so I'm very much like in favor of it, but it's just funny the stuff that goes in there.
It's not, just about food. Like us trying to, like give some treats for our family. Like for example, Victoria's Secrets, like, lotion and what so that they could not afford to buy or they can afford, but it's too
Yeah.
much in the Philippines.
Yeah, mhm.
And
Is
also
it-
with like and I would also add like the did you just ask the balikbayan not
Yeah,
the
about the balikbayan box.
just for the okay. Because I wanted to add the money sending.
Oh yeah,
Like,
also the
there you go.
balikbayan box and the money remittance. That's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
like. It's the same.
So this is just like now. So Lawrence is also aware of that. Like I'm like sending my mom and my dad just couple of like $100. I mean for their allowance monthly, but because I'm unemployed, I don't have any income. I was just okay. So before I moved to US, I tried to save um a year worth of you
Yeah,
know money for my to send to my mom and dad. So now my bank account is going so I just said, like I didn't even ask Lawrence. I just, told him like, oh, like I only have maybe 2 or 3 more months to send my parents allowance and then I'll be out of money. But then Lawrence just like, sweetie, just you just keep sending them and like it's gonna be coming out from our money, so that's fine. So I'm just so grateful, like he truly understand because I feel what, like I'm not giving anything, right? Like especially I'm not working, I don't have income and he pays everything. So
We talked about it. I'm big about it's our money. Doesn't matter what she makes or what I make. It goes into the pot
Mhm.
and it's our money. When it comes to sending money home, it's like, great. If that's something that we need to do, then budget it out because
Yeah.
maybe you need to stop buying fucking steaks but that's the way I think, right? It's like, listen, you work it into the budget and I don't care where, I don't have a
we're
problem
still
with it.
good, don't worry.
Losing her steak is such a I think is such a tough sacrifice for Chiclet. I think let's not touch her steak. Okay, Fern.
When I first met Jackie, the first couple of years, I sent the box to the for the kids and for
Oh,
herself,
yeah.
Yeah.
But before I packed it up, I showed it to her. So of course, here I am. I don't understand the concept either. You pay for a box that's like $150 that's empty. Okay.
Shipping, right? That's
And then it takes 8 to 9 weeks, something like that to get there. But of course, it's the thing when it arrives there and the kids open the box, everybody's happy.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. Okay. But
That's-
then later on, I begin to realize, why don't I just send you
The money.
the $125 that I paid for the damn box, so you can have food, right?
Yeah.
Dates
And then
night.
everybody will be happy because they have plenty.
Yeah.
But so that stopped. after a couple years. So, but I, continued helping around.
Yeah, for us kasi it's I mean, when I got here, we never really just send so much balikbayan boxes, because first of all, yeah, I mean, there's an option to send it through ship, but it's gonna be like what, 3 months, 2 months before they get it.
Mm.
And sometimes when I ask my mom, she would rather say, see, Laura's the he and she again. So she would say, just send me the money. I'll just go to SNR. I'll buy those stuff. So we're more of the money thing with the remittance thing. But even that, just like with Chiclet, Fern and I, we put our money together. She lets me he lets me handle the finances. For him, it's not really a big deal what I do with the money. He just wants to make sure that, number one, the bills are paid. He hates that when there's like overdue, or like he doesn't like that. So
The first time there's an overdue bill, she will not be handling the finances.
yeah, he doesn't like that. He would really be upset with me when it comes to that. He doesn't really care, how I manage the money. Just make sure that the bills are paid and that there's food. And he likes to eat out. So I want to make sure there's a budget for, he wants to eat out a lot. So, I kind of like set aside money for that. And the steak, just like you, Chick, he likes the steak so much.
No, with the balikbayan box, I guess to educate some of our listeners, when that concept first came out, I think it was more of people abroad wanting to share what they have that they couldn't get in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So they would buy things that were available here and send it back, no matter the cost and no matter how long it took to get there. But now these days, I think, Jack, that's a smart move too, to just send the money and get stuff from SNR, because a lot of our stuff that's available here now are back home. So they can buy anything back home. They can eat what we eat. They can, I guess the balikbayan box came from, people wanting to share, feeling guilty that I have this, I have that, and they don't have it back home. So let me give them a taste. Let me share my blessings, right?
Or like during special occasions, like for Christmas, they like to open up boxes for Christmas. So
Yes.
yeah.
And they always say there's something in the balikbayan box that smells like
yeah.
United States of America. Like, it smells stateside.
Yeah. But I think that smell came from the aircraft, though. It's not even from. No, I'm not kidding. I'm
That's
not
jet
kidding.
fuel.
Yeah, I mean it's the aircraft
American
that
fuel.
smell. Yeah, I
I think it's the downy that we use.
it,
on
now
the road.
it's the aircraft. I'm telling you guys, it's the aircraft. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Anyway.
That smell, yeah.
The balikbayan box and the concept of giving back home to family back home is also, proof of how Filipino wives are so devoted, so connected to family, whether immediate or extended. You know how big our families can get, right? It goes beyond parents and siblings, but to uncles, aunties, and cousins. And what do you think
Yes,
about that? Do you see that in your wife?
For me to say, no, we shouldn't take care of your family, that's almost like me saying that the whole reason I love and appreciate her culture, like that's it. I can't say don't do that, but I still want you to be that person who puts family above everything. Like I can't do that,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
Package deal.
yeah, it's a package deal. So I don't want her to not be that way and to just think of herself, because she's always thinking of everybody else.
Mhm.
And I love that about her. So this is part of it,
Thank you for understanding, Lauren. So sweet. I know. That's the same thing with me too. How about you, Fern and Jack?
I can see where Jackie would do that, and I don't mind. I mean, it's family.
Plus, I think we do not do that kind of like a monthly thing. But when it's really needed, like somebody got sick,
Mm.
or there's really a big purchase in the house, which for my mom is a monthly thing. But no, I'm just kidding. We send it, but like I said, he doesn't really mind. He doesn't ask me about it.
Mhm. I mean, I don't. Whatever she wants to do, I'm usually supportive when it comes to that. I mean, I think you send money because you want to help.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's
from
right.
your heart.
Mhm.
You know, I think if you don't want to do it, then don't do it.
Mhm.
And if you got something to say about it, then don't do it.
Correct.
But it's gonna come from the heart, you
Mhm.
know, and if it's gonna help the family, the immediate family, so be it. I mean, it's not very seldom they even ask for anything.
Yep.
You know, it's when a crisis come up,
Correct.
just like the pandemic.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, of course you know you want to help your family, and when I'm down there, I mean they take care of me.
Yeah, plus for us it's two ways. So we send some, and my parents also kind of like send us a box. Like if we want some
Mhm.
desserts from the Philippines, or
Yeah.
food from the Philippines, they would send us that. They would spend money to send us the box, or even send me some. If I
Mm.
like clothes or something that I can't buy here, they're gonna buy
Yeah.
me, and then they're gonna
Yeah.
send it two way. So
It's two-way. Yeah, and thank you guys for being very understanding of that part of our, Filipino culture.
I think though, I think what's important is, you know, obviously, like for me, I made a decision to look outside of my culture or my significant other. And it was because I wasn't finding the culture of woman that I was looking for in North American culture, right? Like, yeah, those traditions are also part of why I sought out somebody else, right? So traditional North American culture would find that weird, but for me, it's like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. That makes sense. Like
Yeah.
like Vern said, you do it because you want to help.
So let the listeners be aware that this is part of Filipino culture. It happens, it doesn't happen, or you can agree, you can choose to understand it or not to, but it
I,
is there.
I mean, I also wish that our listeners from the Philippines would understand the the struggle. I mean, it doesn't mean that we're here in the US that it's always easy to send money. We work hard for it. We work 8-12 hours to get that money. So I just wish that they would also understand that you also have to take care of your family here. So there's just some times that you have to make priorities, and when you make a decision not to send, I just hope that sometimes they would understand that.
Yeah.
that's
And
true.
thanks for making
Especially
that clear,
yeah,
Jack.
yeah, that's true. I agree. I
Great.
agree.
Moving on. Your wives. Can you tell me? She's a social butterfly. She has a gazillion friends from then and now. She's made her new friends easily, but so many friends back home too.
You know, Chiclet has a ton of old friends. But I feel like, and maybe it's just old age. I mean, older age.
Careful there, Lawrence.
I don't know, but she's not as socially outgoing as she once was. Now, having said that, if I take her somewhere and introduce her to people, she is very social, right? She feels like she's got that foot in the door. Matter of fact, we're going over to some friends of mine from work next weekend, and she's all about it. Like great, she's all about it. But I think that I think there's still a lot of that. Like she clings to the old friends that from the Philippines, and I think part of that too is, I've never been in this situation, but it's got to be pretty hard. Being in another country, you don't know what people's reaction to you is going to be.
Correct.
There you go. How about you, Fern? What can you say about Jack?
When you said that, she was like, "Oh my God."
Jackie like
No.
loves everybody. You know, I mean, she has so many friends. I just gave up. Yeah, and she has friends from all over the world. I mean, I have 5 friends. That's it.
Jack has a community of friends.
Right. She has friends from college. She has friends from Zumba. She has friends from, everywhere. And then she's one of those kind of person that she so friendly, and people just want to be around her somehow, So sometimes I come home and I'm tired. She said she wants to go out and want to do stuff with some friends. I said, go right ahead. Go right ahead, because I mean, I don't mind that. She's very sociable. You know, she's very likable. You know,
And it's funny because when he tells me stories about his friend, we say, "Han, you know, Mike went there," and I would know who that Mike is. But when I say, "Hey, Han, you know, Anna went here," who's Anna? Like the Anna from the college, or Anna from the Zumba, or Anna from, you know?
Oh my god.
I go a bit. Sweetie, Marjorie did this. Marjorie, that's your sister, right? Yeah, which sister? No, I'm really bad.
No, my husband is the same. I don't know what it is. When he tells me something, I know exactly who he's talking about. But when I go say, Kim did, and then he goes, which Kim are we talking about?
Yeah.
And I told him, you're not paying
Paying
attention.
attention.
Look at
Exactly.
that.
You're not
Hey
interested.
guys, you know, pay attention. Listen up.
Yeah, and
No, but
think
like I
we're-
said, if you have 1 million and he only has 5, so it's this.
It's hard. It gets hard. I understand.
so, you know.
Okay, what can you say about a Filipino wife when I say she works hard for her money?
oh, definitely, because even, I matter of fact, every job she's ever had was either physically demanding or mentally exhausting. And so yeah, she is not afraid to work, and she's not afraid to do whatever she needs to, right? She knows how to pay the bills. She she said, hey, look, if I can get a cleaning job or something. I know she doesn't want to be doing that. I know that she's gotten to the age where it's physically demanding on her to spend 4 or 6 hours cleaning, especially after you just cleaned our house. But she's willing to do whatever she needs to. I mean, we even talked about it. Like she said, if she needs to, if things get tight, she'll just go down and start stripping. It's not a big deal.
It's fine with him. Yeah.
Oh no,
It's fine with him. Yeah.
Joke.
that's a joke. Yeah, we
That's
get it. We get it.
sarcasm. You're not really sure if I'm serious.
There's Lawrence's sarcasm. But yeah, what we're trying to point out here is Filipino wives are not well, if you find the right one, not lazy, but they're willing to go and earn for themselves and help out with the finances and stuff. Do you agree, Fern?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Jackie's been here, I think 5 years, and I like to say that if she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. But that's something I've always known about her. Even when I was dating her, she set her mind on something, even though she may not. I don't want to say doesn't speak the language as well as we do, but she's out there training now, training people that are actually here in the States that know how to speak English,
Yeah.
and getting in front of them. So I kind of admire her when it comes to something like that, because that's something I can't do. That's something I lack. Public speaking, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like a very shy person to begin with. That's one thing I admire when it comes to Jackie, wanting to work at the hospital, and then she's doing this call center thing, she's a trainer now. She was an agent. Now she wants to do something else. I'm like,
Yeah, we were
job,
updated each time she was doing something new, right? We were
So,
always updated.
I mean,
Oh, she working on
Airlines.
airlines.
I used to work at the airport. I work at the airport. I work at the hospital. I work at an art museum. But it's so glad. I'm so glad about being in a place where you can discover what you can do. I mean, when I was the opportunities here are so endless, and it doesn't matter if you're Asian, whatever your color is, as long as you can do the job and you're willing to do the job, you'll get it.
Chicklet, right? That's been hard for her because she said she just doesn't feel good that she's not, she feels compelled to just be busy all day because she's not working. And I get it. Every once in a while it causes some friction between us, where I'm the opposite. I've been working all day. I don't feel the need to come home and do anything. that I don't want to. You know, like seriously, if I want to come home and just sit and play video games or watch TV or whatever, I feel completely justified. Nope, I'll cut the lawn on the weekend. I don't feel like doing it today. You know, but she's on the other side of the spectrum right now, where she feels this need to stay super busy and almost prove that she's contributing. You know, and I keep, you know, I think she's getting better, but I've told her, I said, hey, listen, you got an opportunity most people don't get a chance at our age, which is chill out, enjoy, relax a little bit,
That's true.
because that time will come. And
Correct.
but also, like I told her, I said, you know, we don't, when we're living alone and we're single, we have to work, right? We got to support ourselves. We got to support our family, whatever. Like, she's going to have an opportunity here when she can work that she doesn't have to go take the job that's available. She can wait and take the job she really wants, which is something that I don't think she's had before. And I want that for her, right? I've seen her struggle through some difficult jobs with nannies and some difficult jobs at law offices and all that. And it's like, she can do any of the jobs. And that's not the question, but it's like, where's the place where she wants to go to work every day because it just likes to be there. Because even my job, I complain to her about my job all the time and the crap I got to deal with. But in the end, I want to go every day. Like, I love working for my company, and I want to, you know, I if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd probably go in for free, you know?
Yeah.
So I want that same feeling for her, and hoping she has that opportunity and doesn't feel compelled to just go out and take the first job, you know?
That's correct. Jake, just wait for it. I would advise you the same thing. I'm pretty sure, I mean, you're in a comfortable place right now. Lawrence is taking care of you. Whether you work or you don't, I mean, I don't think it's going to matter because you guys are comfortable right now.
Oh, stop it, Jack. It does matter.
And thank you for your insights, guys. I've come to the last point, and you may have strong ideas about this. A Filipino wife, well, a stereotype for a Filipino wife is she is submissive. Can you tell if this is still true in modern times, or has it changed? In your case, yeah.
Who's going first?
They're afraid to start saying something. Who goes first?
So I feel like Chicklet was submissive in the beginning. Like, she was very agreeable, all that. And now she has adopted the Western culture on this, because she fights me on everything. It's not blue, it's green. It's like I feel like it doesn't matter what it is at this point. It's just, you know, like, she has no problem just combating me. Here's a great one. So she's raking all these leaves in her yard, and she's bagging them up. And I said, "Hey, sweetheart, don't bag them. We just put them in the street." She's like, "No." And I'm like, "Yeah, you just put them in the street. The city comes and picks them up. They come by with a truck." She's like, "I don't think so." And I'm like, "I live here. I'm telling you how it is." She thinks I'm making this up and that they're not really going to come by and get them, but I just don't want her, like, putting them in bags and you know, wasting all the bags and stuff. So she wouldn't believe me until she talked to my mother, who's like, yeah, they come pick them up. Like, so, I mean, it's just like, I feel like her immediate reaction is just, you know,
Yeah. So it's not an instant yes or okay. She has to have her a word in. Yeah.
Well, because my point is, okay, I'm gonna rake all these leaves and then leave them on the curb, and then, you know, it's gonna get blown away by the wind, goes back to the, you know,
Exactly.
what's
That's
the
what I
point?
would think.
So I'm just gonna bag everything. I don't care how much bag, but at least they're all there.
I care how much bag.
There you go. You buy the bags.
Are you the 51 now?
It's like we're paying the city taxes. This is a
There you
service
go.
they provide. Where's the frugal Filipina now?
Well, you know what? It takes a month for this city to pick up the leaves. Like,
And in the
how
meantime, if the
ridiculous.
leaves blow down the street into our neighbor's yard, that's perfectly fine.
I
with me.
cannot. No, that's not fine with me.
Chiclet, remember when you used to do your laundry at night and the flood waters would go to your neighbors? So
didn't care
what
about
did you
that.
think about that?
Yeah,
I didn't care about that. With all that soap and foam.
Just, I would usually thinking to just like swipe the water out of my garage and goes to my neighbor.
Yeah, she didn't mind back then. But anyway, now it's Fern's turn.
Uh,
It's okay, honey.
It's okay.
Well-
Okay, be honest.
I'm just like like you said, she's different now than what she was before, So, I'm literally begging sometimes. So,
Be quiet.
Wait, what is he begging?
And what is he begging for?
Begging for?
let me clarify that, okay? I'm begging for attention. Okay.
Oh,
Mhm.
So sometimes, hey, I still exist, include me in your routine, so
Include you in the podcast. That's why you're here.
right. But the thing is, she doesn't go to bed till 2 a.m. at night. And I'm in bed by 9:30,
7:30.
sometimes 7, you know.
So early.
So, but other than that,
He's the one who's submissive.
I'm more submissive. Jackie, that lost that part somehow.
So I guess you're saying when it comes to the Filipino wives being submissive, it's changed over the years and it's different for your two wives.
But
right?
let me tell you this. I know when to submit, though. I'm not saying he's always the submissive one. So we kind of like blend. So
Yeah.
he has a strong personality, but he's shy. So, and I'm very outgoing. I'm very sociable, but so there's just really depending on the situation who would need to submit.
Yeah.
So, but it works that way for us.
Of course. Yeah. Of course. It's always different dynamics for every couple, right?
Mhm.
Whatever works for you. More important thing is you're making it work, right?
Yes.
I'm also submissive. I said no. I agree with Jack. Like, I know where to
Give an example.
say yes.
Give an example.
I can't give an example.
She can't. She'll need a few minutes. We'll get back
I
to
can't
that.
remember.
Well, here's the thing. If I know that for that situation, he knows it better than I do. Let's say, for example,
Or no.
David, or
Yeah, no, or
things
for
that
me,
he's
yeah.
familiar with, because he lives here, then I would submit. But if I know
Oh.
it,
Oh yeah, if I know it is important to you, sweetie, I will say.
see.
I don't think that's submissive.
I don't think that's submissive.
There are like terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please
So
read the
there's
terms
gonna
and conditions in the small print.
There's gonna be a little debate going on about that last point, your wives being submissive. Let's leave it at that for now. But thank you guys for giving us a balanced picture of a Filipino wife, the good and the bad. I certainly learned a lot, and I'm sure your wives appreciated your honest thoughts about them, hearing it straight from you. Thank you guys. In closing, in addition, what advice can you give our listeners who are planning to marry a Filipino, or even those who are just starting the relationship, just married and going through some adjustments?
I think the biggest advice I'd give anybody in a relationship, but especially in a relationship with somebody from a different culture, is you got to be patient. You got to be patient. You got to be understanding. You got to be willing to put yourself in their shoes, because every situation we've been in to make this relationship work has been a lot of her getting more westernized, her having to accept how things are done here, her having to move here, but as far as from like a picking up and having to reshape my life, I haven't had to do any of that. So
Yeah.
I have to be really understanding to like, okay, well, how would it be if I was in her shoes and I had to move to another country, and how would it be if I had to fit everything I owned into a pickup truck to move to the United States just to be with her? Like, you know, if you stop, and I think that goes for every relationship, but especially, when you're dealing with a relationship with somebody from another culture at all, is put yourself in their shoes, because if you can't do that, then it's never going to work.
Correct. Right. Thank you, Lawrence and Fern.
I think the biggest thing is, it's something you really gotta want. It isn't the easiest thing, but like I said, it falls back to how much you care about that person, and it's a give and take. Just that, of course, when you're not there, to comfort her, to hold her, it's a little different than when you're here. And just looking at somebody
On the screen.
on the screen, you can't really tell,
Yeah.
But 7 years, that was a long time. We made it work though. It's gonna have to be a commitment for both sides. It isn't the easiest thing. I'm not gonna fool people here.
Mhm.
Look, everything is gonna be great.
Mhm.
Every time you call, every time you speak to each other or text, whatnot. But there'll be that time somebody's gonna be jealous, somebody's gonna be bored, somebody I think me and Jackie came to some of those points, where we wanted to give up,
Mhm.
And we actually split up in
But
between.
what saved you, Fern? What do you think?
The commitment part, I mean, it's very difficult, but I think it's hey, do you still care about me? It's as simple as that,
Yeah.
And I do, and it's just I'm having a difficult time. I'm not used to doing this, and 7 years is a long time, But,
Well, no, I think Fern's really right, and for us, like, we went through the same thing, right? There's times we're arguing and splitting up and never want to talk to you again type thing.
mhm.
And I think what really made it for me was like, man, dating sucks, and the prospect of having to find somebody else was just terrible. Like, oh God, oh my, no, I'm just kidding, um, but you're gonna have that in every relationship. But the one thing, and I don't know how it was for you guys, but for us, no matter how much the arguments, we would always argue when we're apart. And we'd argue when we were together sometimes, but it was never that big of a deal, right? Because it almost felt like we were just so thankful to be together, right? And now, like, having her here after so long, it's like, man, I just can't think of anything that would be worth arguing about. Like, seriously. I mean, she'll find something to argue with me about.
Something, yeah.
And even also, like, when we argue or we have disagreements, we actually talk and sit and talk about it.
Yeah.
We might still keep arguing, but there's always Lawrence would always come up with a solution. So I think this is the best also, solution that he came up, is that we go to a couples counseling.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, we can't say that we are like really, like we had like everything's going so bad.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
or
No,
like,
but
we
it was
wanted-
like the opposite. It was
Mhm.
like, I think even when we talked to our counselor, like,
Mhm.
she's kind of like you guys don't have the problems I'm used to hearing. Like, she didn't say that, but you can just tell. Like,
Mhm.
we don't have real problems. But it's like, hey, sometimes it's just nice to have a third party
Yeah.
different perspective, right? Because you get kind of set on your viewpoint, and that's
Really
helpful,
Yeah,
especially
very helpful.
with the cultural differences.
Yeah.
and, you know, the differences and things like that.
Yeah.
And cause sometimes it's like I can say, hey, well, what about this? And she can't hear me because she's fixed on her position.
Yeah.
Or she says, what about this? Or more times than not, she doesn't feel like she can express how she feels. to
Yeah.
me. But with a third person, they can be like, hey, look at it this way or
Yeah.
that way. And it's easier to hear that from a third person.
Yeah.
Yes.
We found
Yeah.
that to be incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah.
Yeah, now that Chicklet has jumped in with her advice too, and how, because I just wanted to hear your point of view as Filipino wives married to foreigners. Now that Chicklet has jumped in to share that they're going to couples counseling, you know what? There's nothing wrong. Like other people may think,
yeah.
oh, they're in trouble.
Right?
They're going to couples
No.
counseling.
Yeah.
No, but just the neutral opinion of a third person helps. That was what Lawrence was saying. And Jack, your advice to, say, let's just say Fern is Filipino American, so it's kind of cross cultural too, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like any relationship, you need to have that one to make it work. Whether it's a long distance relationship, whether there's cultural differences, you need to make it work. And like you said, if you needed to go counseling to help your marriage work, then why not? It's a good option. We've also reached to a point where in both of us, we were kind of like at the point of giving up. I'm just going to go home. I have a life there. But our arguments sometimes, or most of the times, would always branch out to something that is not even about the topic that we were arguing. So we've learned to, you know what, let's argue. Because I would, initially when we were arguing, it will always end up, I don't want this anymore. I'm going to go home. Let's get a divorce. It was always like that. Even if we're just arguing about a simple, a situation. But then again, we realized, as time goes on, we realize that if we're arguing about the TV, then that's going to be our point of conversation. We're not going to touch any other topic that would be hurtful to each other. So we stay that way. And then we'd argue about it. We keep quiet. No divorce, no breaking up. It's just an argument. It's just an argument. So we learn how to do that. And it will take time. Let me remind you guys, it will take time. Just like any relationship, it's gonna take time for you guys to figure out what works or what dynamics you need for your relationship. And like I said, if you really want to make it work, you're gonna find all ways to make it work.
King,
That's
that
all.
is one thing I will tell your listeners. If you think you're going to get into a relationship with a Filipina and you're going to get in an argument and you think you're going to win, you are not going to win. And not only are you not going to win, but you are going to be hurt to the bone because, I mean, if it's a cat fight, she's clawing for the eyes. like I'm just telling, like Jack is saying, like, we'll take it to any topic. Like, hey, yeah, no, I want to watch this. I want to watch this. Oh yeah, well, you're fucking bald. And it's like, wait a minute, why'd you attack my hair? It's like, I mean,
Even the joke also is, okay, so you have an advantage here because he's American, he speaks English and I don't. That's not my first language.
What are you speaking right now?
No, but I keep telling, like, when I'm so irritated with him, I say, be thankful. Like, be thankful you don't know how to speak Tagalog, but if you understand Tagalog, I will be talking Tagalog, like straight and nonstop, and I will.
Or maybe he's Lawrence is just pretending he doesn't know Tagalog, which leads
I really don't know.
Which leads me to my
An
next
app on the
question.
phone.
I want to end this in a light, funny way. But Lawrence, have you learned any Tagalog words from your wife?
The way I look at it, Ting, is I speak piss poor English. There's no chance I'll ever learn to speak Tagalog.
Come on, what?
Just remember
give me
what
one
Tagalog
word.
words do you?
Lalake.
Say that again.
Lalake. The boy, right?
Lalaki.
Lalaki. I don't know why. I had a book, and
Yeah.
for some words, right, they teach you boy, and then they babae. That's the
Oh.
girl.
Mhm.
So I remember some words, but can I
say,
actually?
say like,
I can't put a phrase together.
so, okay,
Yeah.
like what you said, your pancit is delicious.
I can't remember. She has to feed me lines. I think
Yeah.
it'll get better though. I mean, she's only been here what 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna get
Yeah.
better, I'm telling you. No.
Don't worry. There's hope yet for you. So we'll yeah. We'll just leave you to your lalaki babae for now. How about Fern? I know. Yeah, Fern. I'm just gonna ask. I know you know a few Tagalog words, but what's your favorite that you say a lot now that you're with Jack?
That's why I know Jackie's very pissed.
I know that one.
No, that's a different one. Yeah.
Oh no.
One,
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
I guess
Jackie-
you heard those words in an argument when you were fighting because those
Yeah.
are like bad words that
Jackie, I get lazy too. Like Owen said, sometimes when I come home from work, I don't want to do anything. It's just an American thing, you know what I mean? We're not gonna
Yeah,
clean,
yeah.
we're not gonna cook.
Cultural babe.
We just want to relax, right? So sometimes Jackie will go in the room, won't say anything, look around, and go back out, and then come back in. Go back out, then come back in. So I know,
Something-
2 or 3 times something open up. So I know right away. It's like, okay, what is the problem here? And she's like, well, I have to do everything. I gotta pick up the shit.
that is so funny.
So, I'm used to now. So
She didn't swear a lot early on, and now fast forward almost.
That's true. That's true.
And now she cusses like a sailor.
because of you.
Oh yeah, like I'm
Yeah.
glad I could
Yep.
influence her into our American culture.
Mhm. All Americans are like that. We curse,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
But when I curse, she gets upset with me when I'm not even cursing at her. You know what I mean?
True.
That's-
It's an
I
expression.
could be somebody be cutting in front of me while I'm driving, and I said, "Shit,"
Or-
she'll get mad at me like it was my fault.
right.
I'll be in here playing video games and
Yeah.
swearing with my buddies, and she comes in. Could you watch your mouth?
Yeah.
That's
Really?
But the funny thing is now I'm seeing myself
Now,
adapting. Like sometimes I can't imagine saying the F word, but now I say it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just an expression.
I
You
don't
know?
really say
Right.
it, but
Yeah. That is one
Okay,
cultural difference that we just had to learn and adjust to. Right?
She only uses the F word in the proper context. She wants attention.
And
Yeah.
that is the proper context of it. Yes.
yes.
Again, I would like to let the listeners know that what you heard here is by no means, stereotyping or generalizing Filipino women, but are specific to these two couples over here on my screen. Thank you so much, guys. Well, overall, I feel that, a woman of any nationality, any, just needs a man to love them, provide for them and treat them well. And I'm very, very happy. My heart is happy to see that my friends, have found their man. Thank you so much, Fern and Lawrence.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome.
you.
Hey,
Thank you,
okay,
guys.
thank you. That's it for our podcast episode this week. And again, thank you, Lawrence and Fern, for being such good sports and helping us build this topic with your insights and your firsthand experience. And for our listeners, if you haven't yet, please follow our IG, our Instagram, and Facebook at Trivapalooza. Leave comments, leave suggestions, and yeah, just follow us.
Yes, and let me add that our new episodes drop every Thursday, 8 a.m. That's Eastern time. Thursday, 8 a.m. We also have 6 a.m. Mountain time. And of course, 8 p.m. Philippine time or Manila time.
So join us for another round of Churba Churba with Chiclet.
Ting.
And Jack. Bye, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, guys. Bye.